See you guys, this is the beginning so far. Got my guy Anthony doing it. Let me show you guys how he's gonna do when it's done. It's gonna be amazing. Also, you guys need to stay tuned because I told you we got more things coming to the car. So we're going to go get it wrapped. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna do a matte black yet or if I'm gonna do all black. I called a couple of prices around town to see the cheapest. So we're just gonna see how it's looking from there. All right, you guys, we'll be back when it's done. All right, so, and I have a question. So, what are the steps that we need to take to have the other side looking like that?
All right, one thing you want to do is prep, which is what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I've already prepped. We took a wire brush and a wire wheel. There's a wire wheel right here. Okay. Got a wire brush right here. Got as much brake dust off of it as possible. I'm not really too worried about the underside because it's gonna get caked up with brake dust again. We're more worried about everything that you can see with the naked eye. So the most important piece is gonna be this front face and the back piece right here. And this back side right here. So once we get done getting all the brake dust off of it, I'm just giving it a wipe down. This was a completely white towel. I'm wiping it all off, make sure all the brake dust is off that I can get to. I'm gonna, after I get done wiping it off, I'm gonna do our first coat. First coat will be just, you know, basically making it sticky with the paint. Okay. After that, I'm gonna come back once it gets a little tacky. I'm gonna come back, hit another coat, do a few coats after that, and then just basically build it up until it almost looks like it's powder coated. Okay. And then afterwards, we're gonna sit here and let it dry. We got our flame thrower over there going, so we can keep the inside of the shop nice and warm. Okay. The thing is, you want to paint when it's warm outside, so whenever your material that you're painting is cold, the paint really won't want to stick. So we're heating it up. I've already taken the torch and heated this up carefully to keep our part nice and warm. That way your paint will stick like it's supposed to.
So, and I have a question.
Yep.
For the people out there that's wondering, how did I have so much brake pad cake build up? What are the recommended brake pads you recommend people to buy?
All right. So
show them the bad ones that I have.
These aren't really bad. You see, they're nice and thick. Mm-hmm. Brand new brake pads. What it is that this is probably either a semi-metallic or just a straight up bottom of the barrel economy pad. Okay. These the cheapest brake pads build up the most dust. They throw a lot of dust in the air, which is what you'll see, this kind of reddish color right here. You'll see that on your wheels, that red color right there. Mm-hmm. And I've already wiped this wheel off, but you can still see that's leftover brake dust. Okay. From the brake pads, and that happens whenever you get really cheap brake pads. They don't have to be really cheap, but you know, they're the cheapest.
Yeah, the cheapest, okay.
So what I recommend for situations like this where you don't want a lot of brake pad, but you want the best performance, is a good ceramic brake pad. Okay. You get a ceramic brake pad, you get better braking, you get less brake dust, and they tend to last a little bit longer. All right. So that's what I guess the next mod will be on the 5.7.
Whew. As you guys can see, it's coming soon. Locomotives, yep. North Little Rock, Arkansas. You guys come to him, and as soon as you guys come in town.
All right, so there's another thing I forgot to mention. When it comes to overspray, you see I've got our bag covered up on our spindle. One thing that I like to do, paint does not like to stick to anything greasy. So I put some penetrating oil on anything that I don't want the paint to stick to, which is going to be here. I might put a little bit on the inner fender wells, but I'm not going to like soak it. I'm just going to put it on there just so I can come back and wipe it off. Okay. And then you won't end up having red paint everywhere. It'll just be a little bit of, you know, oil. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have oil on there than have red paint on there.
That's true.
So that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm not going to actually spray the part. I'll spray my towel. Well, I'm gonna have to come back and degrease that. It'll be okay. But hit the towel. These are all the areas that are gonna end up getting overspray on them. We're gonna hit the strut, the spindle, brake hose. Like I said, anything you do not want painted is what we're gonna hit. And after we get done, yes, you will see, you know, some paint right there, but I'll just be able to wipe it right off and it's not a big deal. So, tip number 2. All right, so this is our first coat. See, it looks nice and glossy. Got no bubbles. See how that looks real?
Whew, perfect. I see no air bubbles filling up or nothing. Everything's perfect.
Wet.
Wet.
It's wet. That's exactly what you want.
Ooh.
And like I said, this isn't even a heavy coat. This is a light coat. But the reason why it's sticking like this is because this brake caliper is warm.
And for the people that have questions, can you tell them where you got this specific brake caliper paint?
Oh, just parts store.
Yep.
It's a straight up parts store. All parts stores carry pretty much the same paint. All it is just regular brake caliper paint. That's all it is. It's VHT caliper paint, high temp.
It's getting the job done.
And you see it's nice and glossy. It's exactly what you want. And then, like I said, afterwards we're gonna wipe this off. It'll be black when we're done. But we're gonna let that sit and go to the next wheel and continue the process.